would like to express our condolences to the leadership and the people of the Islamic Republic of Iran, having to do with the numerous victims, including amongst civilians, which were the result of Israeli action. In front of our eyes, because of Israeli action, what is happening is a very dangerous escalation in the Middle East region. We are here having to discuss a new, most dangerous and irresponsible adventure by West Jerusalem in the region, but this time it is also pushing the region to a large-scale nuclear catastrophe. We heard from the briefers today that there have been victims amongst civilians. This completely unprovoked attack, no matter what Israel says to the contrary, is a gross violation of the UN Charter and international law. One is left with the impression that the leadership of Israel is convinced that they have a completely free hand in the region, and they probably think that Israel can flout any legal norms and replace all international bodies, including the Security Council and IAEA. The Russian Federation strongly condemns this action by West Jerusalem. West Jerusalem's military adventure pushes the region to the brink of a large-scale war, and the responsibility for all of the consequences of these actions lies fully with the Israeli leadership and those who encourage them. Israeli actions are aimed at undermining the various negotiating efforts underway now, the efforts to lower the tensions surrounding Iran's peaceful nuclear program. The whole world is looking with hope for the outcome of yet another round of indirect contacts between Iran and the United States, and they were planned for the 15th of June. Israel decided to preempt this in the way they deemed necessary and started bombing the nuclear and energy infrastructure in Iran, showing this way their contempt for laws, norms, agreements, rules, everything that is the basis for a civilized interaction between states. But the responsibility for what happened is not just with the state of Israel, but also on its closest allies. This is a direct consequence of Western countries' acquiescence, who for months knowingly and methodically pumped up anti-Iran hysteria in the UN Security Council and in the Board of Governors of IAEA. The European Union also joined in with pressure, disregarding thus their duty of impartial coordinator of the joint JCPOA Commission. The most egregious example was what happened in Vienna yesterday. Yet another biased and divorced from reality resolution passed by the Board of Governors of IAEA, which talks about some trumped-up threat to international peace and security from the Iran nuclear program. And this happened despite the fact that Iran is strictly complying with its obligations under NPT and under the Comprehensive Safeguards Agreements, and despite the fact that Iran remains the most inspected IAEA states. And the reports of IAEA Secretariat state clearly that there is no non-proliferation risk. In other words, the Western participants to the JCPOA have been doing everything to fuel the escalation and essentially incited it. The unprovoked attacks against the territory of sovereign Iran, the targeted strikes on the peaceful nuclear facilities cannot be justified in any way. Call for an immediate halt to any kind of pressure by force and for a rejection of practice of unilateral military steps. We need to support any and all diplomatic efforts aimed at de-escalation and the return to negotiations. President.